So I've got myself a bit of pre-lockdown equipment that I purchased. This is the 858D. It's one of these clone thingies, but it is a hot air station. Now, I've been really resistant to using these in the past, mainly because I didn't want to spend the money, but it's cheap. It was something like 30 quid, I think, but I'll put a link in the description or a little overlay here to say how much it is, and you can check it out if you like. I'm not going to be demoing this properly today. I'm going to be making something though. I'm going to make this 2019 hackable badge by the Unexpected Maker. Hopefully most of this is hot air solderable. There'll be some bits that probably aren't, but we'll give it a go. So I've only just taken it out of the box and there's basically not much to it. So you've got this unit here, which is essentially the power delivery system. And mine had a UK plug on it. We've got would you call that a wand, maybe? A stand for it that I think screws on the side here, and a few different nozzles. And then the wand, I'm going to call it a wand. Actually, I don't like wand. The heating element and blower itself is this. So this is just a power cable. Actually, it's quite nice, flexible. But you get some models where the actual hot air comes from the device itself, but this one has a heating element inside and the blower. And so you pop these little caps on the end and then the hot air comes out of there. That's essentially it, hopefully. I mean, how hard can it be, right? Anyway, I'm going to plug this in and then we'll get going. I've actually got some of this solder paste. Now, I purchased this solder paste probably 3 years ago. Actually, the manufacturing date is January 2017. So it may have been more than 3 years. It could be 4 years. No, it can't have been more than 3 years is what I mean. But yeah, this has been in my fridge for a very long time because I had intended on buying one of these and never pulled the trigger. So I've not done this ever. So it'll be fun. So I thought we'd do a quick tester first before I go and ruin Theon's board. Now, I've plugged everything in, I've put a nozzle on, I use the medium nozzle. I've also made myself a little heat mat out of some exhaust wrap that I use for my 3D printer, and I've just sort of hastily put this together. I've got to be careful with this stuff because if it frays and stuff and you get all the dust coming out of it, then that's a bit of a hazard, so just be careful. So I've sealed the ends so that there won't be too much danger of that. I don't know if this mat is actually going to survive the temperature, so that's why I've melted it with my soldering iron before, so that's why I've done this, just to try and mitigate it. I could also just put another PCB down. All right, let's see what we're meant to do with this thing then. So okay, so I just bung that in. No, I don't understand. Don't understand how this works. Am I going to take that bit out? Well, I haven't quite figured it out. But I've put the needle on. There just doesn't seem to be enough room to put this damn thing down there, unless I'm going to take that plastic bit out from in here. But I can't figure out how to do that. And I can't find my needle nose pliers. So I'm just going to push it with my finger, I think, for a little bit, until I've got some space to put the plunger in. Hopefully that works. So I'm just going to do, these are 1206s, I think. So we're just going to do a couple of these. Hopefully pushing it with my finger works. Yeah, it does. That's quite a lot. So this has been in my fridge for a long time. So heaven knows if it's going to work. We're just going to do 2 for now. And I think I've got to set the temperature on this thing. This whole thing seems a little bit ridiculous. Now I need some tweezers. So I can't find any capacitors, but resistors will do. It's the same footprint. So we'll just pop these on. Not very well. Try and use your... I mean, if I was using the appropriate hand, that would help, but well, let's see if they sort of just go into place, shall we? I'll zoom in a little so you guys can see that better, and we'll start the thing up. So it should automatically start when I pick it up. Oh, there we are. Now it's on airflow 4 at 200 degrees. Well, it's already starting to do something. And thankfully the components aren't flying all over the place. Well, they're starting to. Thinking I should turn this temperature up a little, because that's really just the flux that's melted there. Let's go up to 240. That's better. You've moved a little, haven't you? There we go. Wow. Hopefully that'll turn off in a second. That isn't too bad. Just see if I can bring it up close to the camera. Is it hot? It's quite hot. There we go. That isn't terrible, is it? That was much easier. I mean, there's a bit too much solder on there, isn't there? But that worked out all right. Right, onto the badge then. So this is a double-sided board. So I'm gonna have to make a decision. Do I do it on one side first and then attempt to do the other side as hot air thingy, or do I solder the other side? Well, we're gonna start with this side because it's all of the LEDs, and for me, that's the most annoying part. So we'll zoom in a little. I assume it's still in focus. And then we're just gonna do the whole finger up the end technique. Heaven knows whether this is a good idea or not. Oh well, that's quite a lot. There's some more that's springing off the edge there. Maybe I should have made it a bit colder, because at the moment it's room temperature, which in here is 20 degrees at the moment. It's a little all over the place, isn't it? I think I'm going to use my stronger hand for this. It is nigh on impossible. Let's just put the blooming syringe thing in the end and see if we can't manhandle it. God, this ain't easy, is it? Well, certainly not for me. Bear in mind, this is like the first time I've done this. And I'm not really sure how much is good to use. What should I do as RC on really, but yeah, I can't help but think if this was a little colder it might be better. Squeezing this thing's making my hands shake something awful. Now I know some of you might say you should get one of those automatic thingies, but I'm not really into this that much. I'm mostly going to use this thing for rework. It's getting a little easier as I sort of get a feel for this. I mean, it would be a lot easier if the bloody syringe had a pump in the end. Well, not pump, but if that thing actually bloody fit. But it doesn't. So I've got a few little test pads here, really. I guess there's some with lots of paste on and some with not very much. So we'll see how much is really required. Well, that's a lot. Oh, God. Oh, look at this mess. Oh, well. Oh, and then let's just do a... We'll just do a line down here. And hopefully it'll be just like drag soldering. I'm under no impression that I'm not going to have to clean this up. I'm pretty sure I'm going to. And should we put a blob on there? Why not? All right, that's... For heaven's sake. That's pretty much everything done. That's... Oh well, whatever. So I'll pop the LEDs on and then we'll come back to do the reflow bit. Okay, so that is that done. I know it doesn't look great. I get it, but we're going to try and reflow this. Reflow? Well, I don't know what it's called. Right. Ooh, it feels warm. We've got to turn the airflow down because these are tiny little parts, so let's see if we can't do it. Maybe turn that temperature up, 270. Oh, got a wee straggler there. There we go. It's kind of working. Ooh, it's kind of fun because I'm not quite sure, you know, what's gonna go out of place and what's not really. Let's just grab these tweezers just in case I need to move one, which I can already see one there. You know, I kind of thought that I hadn't put enough on, but maybe I had. We've got like little solder balls around here. Let's just move that IC a little. Okay, that is as good as it's gonna get. Do you want a closer look at that? I should have got some extract. I need to remember these things are going to be hot. I mean, I did know that. That's why I got this pad. The pad is very hot as well. So there we go. It's not perfect, is it? There's a lot of cleaning up to do there, but I'll get a toothbrush and some IPA and give it a go. We've got some solder bridges there on the IC, the TLC 5947. So we can sort that out with a little bit of braid, that's easy. But other than that, I think maybe they're okay. Some of them look a little bit anemic, and while others have massive bloody blobs on them. Oh dear. Right, so that's cleaned up a little. And I think it looks okay. This IC is a bit shifted. But other than that, not too bad. I've removed the solder bridge. And I've mainly left everything else. In fact, there's this IC here, this LED is sitting a bit proud with some solder blobs next to it, so that could be bridged, who knows? Or a few like that actually. So I'll check. But we'll move on for now and do the backside. And we're going to try and do it with all these components on it. So I'm not going to use soldering iron. I'm going to try and use the hot air to do it. But this is a learning experience, isn't it? So if I do F it up, then at least I'll know not to do it again or to do it differently next time. Sorry, I kind of forgot to start the camera again. I just started putting paste on the other side. I don't know if you all know Bit Looney or Looney from Bit Looney's Labs, but he said something the other day that made me smile. That he wanted a pocket C on for his pick and place thing, I think. And I wouldn't mind a pocket C on right now to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Well, look, I mean specifically about the soldering, but not not everything else. There's far too much coming out of this thing. Very hard to regulate. I guess this is why those actual tools exist for this, where they will extrude a certain amount. Let's try not to have massive bridges here. Oh God, I've already put too much on. Oh well, we're going for it now. There we go. Oh, a couple of bits over here. Well, there we are. Let's pop these bits on and then figure out what we're doing. Ooh. So my thoughts on this so far is that I'm kind of enjoying it. I mean, I like the idea of using hot air for stuff like this. It certainly makes sense with those LEDs on the other side. But I think on this side, I would have probably found it easier just to do it myself with a soldering iron. Although this component here would have been very difficult, I find. We've got these little metal bits over here that I don't think I would have been able to see properly. Right, what components are we looking for? C1 and C2. What? All right, it's there. Those are 0.1. God, that one's a that's a 10 microfarad capacitor in 0603. It's like a brick. It's sort of almost square. It's so massive. I definitely feel like this solder paste could have been a bit colder, because it certainly feels like, oh, for fuck's sake, it certainly feels like it's not viscous enough. Well, that's going to be shit, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't sound like it, but I am really enjoying myself. So let's give this a go. That's all the components on. In fact, I'm going to turn the temperature down to 200 again, because I don't want to melt that plastic thing. And I'm hoping those components there will go at 200. No, it has to be higher than that. Oh, maybe it's just about to go. Yeah, we'll work at 200, it seems. Come on, get back in your spot. You go over there. I'll have to get some tweezers on the job. Oh, fuck. Well, that's ideal. There we go. Now we're going to move the temperature up. Increase the airflow a little. Oh, look at you two there. You best be getting separated. I'll be having none of that, thank you. That's it. Around you go. Well, that looks like it. So that was on 260. And what we haven't done is turn the board over to see whether we've desoldered the LEDs. Hopefully not. I'm going to let it cool down for a second and we'll come back. Okay, so this is done. I think it's cooled down sufficiently. So we can turn it over and see if all the LEDs have fallen off. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sion. They're still there. That's great. Nothing seems to have shifted. Is that a bridge there? No, let me just check though. No. Well, that is everything. Shall we try and plug it in? We haven't actually really inspected this side, so let's have a look. Nothing too terrible. There's quite a lot of solder underneath this IC. Yeah, I got too much solder basically on lots of bits. So hopefully it'll be fine. There's a little solder blob there. Let's get rid of that. All right, let's plug it in. Here we go. Oh shit. Okay, so I guess those bits need quite a lot more. All right, let's get the soldering iron on and do that. So I've just soldered that with the soldering iron. So let's plug a battery in. Oh, it's a bit of a dead battery. Let me just grab a better one. I've got a little lithium one here somewhere. We'll try that. Whee! It looks like it's working. Are all the LEDs on? Yeah, let's see if that central ring goes round. Yeah! There's a button. What does that do? Let's see. See, I did it with pink LEDs. That is great. Not very easy to see though, is it? Oh, it's at 2.7 volts, so no, it's not got a lot of juice left in it. Well, that's pretty much it for the old 858D. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm fairly confident I can use this from now on. It didn't seem... I mean, it wasn't easy, mind, but it didn't seem like it would be overly difficult to do it all the time. I think this tube is too full because I can't actually get the probe, what's that called? Plunger in and sitting in there. So it's just got too much solder paste in, or I don't know how to use it, which is also entirely possible, plausible even. All right, well, I'll catch you again next time.